Well.
Hey, Louie.
Hi. These are
Louie.
for you.
Louie, come here. Do you see the blinking red light?
There's no blinking red light.
Oh, go. It's recording.
Hi guys, welcome back to What Fuels a Dancer. My name is Leah and I am a professional ballet dancer and a certified nutrition health coach. I'm super excited to talk about today's topic, which is why we sometimes get hunger cues and cravings that aren't coming from actual biological hunger. In the last two videos, we have talked about hunger cues as well as the hunger and fullness scale. So if you have not seen those videos, I will link them up here on the screen as well as they will be in the description box down below. Today's topic is going to be really helpful if you have ever noticed that there are certain foods that are associated with different emotions, or why you want certain foods even if you aren't hungry. So make sure to give this video a thumbs up and keep watching. This video is for education and entertainment purposes only. Everybody is different with different nutritional needs and preferences when it comes to food. So it is always best to speak to a nutrition professional like a nutritionist, registered dietitian, or certified health coach about your unique case. So have you ever experienced any one of these? Have you ever seen someone eat a cupcake and even though you weren't even thinking about cupcakes, you all of a sudden want one? Or do you ever reach for large quantities or certain foods after a really stressful day? It's likely that you have experienced these, and this is totally normal. I experienced them too. And these are not bad or a problem that we need to fix by any means. But it gives us information about what our body is going through and what needs that it has. Some of them are also just a normal and healthy part of the human experience. So we are going to dive into taste hunger, practical hunger, and emotional hunger in this video. So first, we are going to talk about taste hunger, which is when we eat something just because it looks good, it sounds good, or the occasion calls for it. Food isn't just fuel. There's culture, emotions, and celebrations that are sometimes attached to it. For example, when you're celebrating a birthday, it's normal for cake to be a part of it. We have an addition. And there's nothing wrong with enjoying some. Or if someone brings your favorite cookies to the studio, even if you aren't hungry, it's totally fine to enjoy one. Should you skip your favorite foods at Thanksgiving and Christmas? Absolutely not. Something to note is that if you perceive these foods as bad foods that pop up during these times, you might feel guilty after eating these foods. And you might also potentially overeat them because your body doesn't know when it will have them again. Intuitive eating seeks to normalize all foods because they are all a part of normal, well-balanced nutrition. It's perfectly valid to honor your taste hunger just because something looks good, sounds good, or the opportunity presents itself. When you satisfy this hunger intuitively, you might notice that you just need a small amount in order to feel satisfied. So enjoy the taste, the people you are with, and the occasion that you are celebrating. Practical hunger is planning your meals and snacks ahead of time so it fits your schedule. It's important to eat before and during classes and rehearsals, as well as before performances, even if you aren't necessarily hungry. Your body needs fuel in order to function at a high capacity that dance calls for. This doesn't mean forcing yourself to eat a big meal to where you feel overly full, but having a light meal or snack is a good idea to avoid intense hunger cravings and energy dips during a 3-act ballet. This is all about planning ahead, which I talked about in the hunger and fullness scale video. Because dancers often have long days and an intense schedule, we need to be smart in planning our nutrition so that we can make sure that we have enough fuel to get through the day. If you find that you keep eating all of your food that you've brought with you and you still have several hours before your next meal, use this information to maybe prepare your meals and snacks a little bit differently. And lastly, we are going to be talking about emotional hunger. This is when we use food or the physical act of eating as a coping mechanism or to try and cover up uncomfortable emotions. You could be experiencing uncomfortable emotions like anger, sadness, anxiety, loneliness, frustration, stress, low self-esteem, or exhaustion. And you might crave foods that will make you feel better. But know that this is only temporary. As I said earlier, food isn't just fuel. It can also be a comfort and deliver positive feelings, which makes it easy for it to become a coping mechanism. You might have experienced this with eating a pint of ice cream after a frustrating casting change, or eating a whole bar of chocolate if you've had a really stressful and frustrating rehearsal. And sometimes this eating can even feel out of control. So I want to express that this is totally normal to experience. There is nothing wrong with you and your hunger cues aren't broken. Emotional hunger can actually be a really important tool that we can use that gives us insight into what we are dealing with mentally and emotionally. I want to reiterate that it is totally okay to eat when you are experiencing emotional hunger. But it is important to recognize that food isn't going to solve the underlying issue or emotion that you are facing. It is just a temporary food distraction that isn't going to get rid of your negative emotion. So using an example in my own life, a few weeks ago, I made some really yummy cookies. And I was also having a bad day. I was being really hard on myself, and I was also really stressed with the amount of work that I was putting on myself. I kept going back into the kitchen and grabbing another cookie, and before I realized it, I had eaten probably like 4 or 5 cookies. And there's nothing wrong with this happening, but I realized that I wasn't even enjoying the taste of those cookies. And I wasn't eating them because my body wanted them anymore, but I was trying to make myself feel better. Learning from my many other experiences like this, I pulled out my journal and started writing about what thoughts and feelings I was having. I also talked with my husband and cuddled with my dog, and I started to actually feel better. It's important to not feel guilty or beat yourself up if you experience emotional hunger. It takes an incredible amount of self-reflection and time to honor your feelings without using food. And it's not going to be perfect, and that's okay. It's helpful to have a list of ways that you know will help you deal with these emotions in a positive way. This could be talking to a friend or a counselor, writing in a journal, taking a walk outside, taking a bath, or just taking a few minutes to just stretch and breathe. Remember, your body is incredibly smart. Emotional hunger can sometimes be the red flag that's raised about what emotions you are experiencing. So when this happens, thank your body and recognize those emotions as valid and honor them. As you can see, food is complicated and eating can be confusing sometimes. And this is normal and okay. This is why I love my job and why I am so passionate about teaching nutrition to dancers. Because I know how hard it can be to navigate the deep waters of fueling your body and taking care of your mental and emotional needs. And it can be so important and life-changing to talk to a nutrition professional so that they can give you the help that you need or refer you to someone who can. I hope this video helps you understand where different types of hunger cues come from, so that you can start navigating through them to honor your body's needs in the best possible way. As always, I have a link in the description box down below with a blog post talking about everything in this video. And I would love it if you subscribed here so you never miss a video. And you can also find me on Facebook and Instagram at What Fuels a Dancer. And I will see you guys all next Wednesday in a new video. Bye guys.
He is now.
Hey, but these cookies are so good. No, bud. Oh my gosh, these are better than last time.